I'm going to do this demonstration to show the steps through this drawing process. Where we're going to start? I'm going to start with a free sketch. Okay, let's take a look at it. So really freely just sketch your ideas on the paper. Okay, let's take a look at what's going to be the chin. I'm going to put the chin roughly, put it over here. So I'm not quite sure yet. At this point, keep everything open. Okay, I'm using a piece of soft vine charcoal. Okay, really softly coming down like this. Let's take a look at. Just get an idea how this composition should look like. Okay. And both sides of the shoulder is going through from the left to the right side. So I'm going to take a look at this could be the chin. And if you want to have the face a little bit smaller and moving up a little bit, and you can do it right at this step. I'm going to draw a little bit more. So I'm going to have the top over here a little bit lower like this, and take a look at the hair and coming on the left hand side. And there's some hair on the right hand side. And then you think about it. Is that the compositions you want? Or do you want the face a little bit smaller? So I'm going to have the face a little bit smaller. Okay. So be a little bit playful at this step. Just do whatever you feel like. Just play with the idea. So I'm going to have the shoulder and go a little bit higher like this. Let's do a little measurement. This is the reference. And I'm going to take a look at, if I'm going to take the width of the face, I'm going to rotate it and compare with the height of the face to see where that's supposed to be. I'm going to take a look. This is the left side of the face to the right side of the face. This is the widest area. Okay, this is right below the eye. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at from the bottom and moving up. Just a little bit higher than the top of the eyebrow. So that means if we want to easier to define the width compared to the height, let's first divide the vertical space. And then we are going to take part of this and rotate it. Right? So this is the plan. So we're going to hold on the width of the face for now. Let's take a look. And how can we divide the vertical space? So this is the hairline. It looks like the forehead a little bit smaller in the proportion to from the eyebrows to the nostril to the bottom of the chin. Let's take a look. How can we divide it a little bit better? From the hairline coming to the bottom of the eyebrow. Okay, I'm going to take that. Let's take a look at how it looks. From the bottom of the eyebrow to this, and let's take a look at from the nostril almost to the bottom of the chin. Everyone has a different proportion, okay? Not exactly everyone the same. Usually, from the hairline to the middle of the eyebrows or the top of the eyebrow sometimes, and should be, for some people, it goes from here to the nostril. It goes from the nostril to the bottom of the chin. And this is the 3 proportion. Looking at this reference, it's a little bit different. So you have to analyze from what we have over here. If we're going to do 3 exact proportion, let's take a look. So this is what we're talking about, the hairline. Okay. And I'm going to use this stick to help me to see the 3. I think this is pretty good, and based on the bottom part just a little bit more. So I'm going to put this right here, and then the nostril would be here. Let's double check. let's take this portion, take this part, and moving down. Oh, actually this needs to move a little bit higher. So I'm going to move this a little bit higher over here. Let's take a look again. Always check and double check. This is good. And from here, this is exactly good. So this is great. So that means this line is just the bottom of the eyebrow. Okay, like that. I'm going to draw the line to the left, from the left to the right. Okay, like this. So this is will be the eyebrow. Okay, this is good. And the next thing we're going to do, would be the nostril. On the left side and the right side, that's the nostril. Okay, what about the eye? The eye actually sitting right about 1/3 from here to the bottom of the nose, which is the nostril. So let's take a look at if we're going to do that 1/3. One here, coming over here, that's is 1/3. So this is just the eye line. And the eye most likely sitting right over here. That's the bottom of the eye. All right, we're not going to jump over to define the width of the face yet. We first is going to define the vertical. Okay, this is good. Now let's take a look at from here to the bottom of the chin. How can we divide this space to find the mouth? And actually interesting, you can see that from the nostril over here to the chin, you can divide it into roughly 3. From the nostril to the bottom over here, and we're going to divide it into 3, and it's about right. So this is the top portion have a little bit less. So I'm going to put this right here, like this, and this is shadow. Okay, this is good. And later we're going to divide in between these two. Okay, this is good. And the corner could be over here, but we don't know yet. We're going to leave it to define a little bit later. Okay. All right. Since we already have this much divided into the vertical, which is very simple. So let's review. The first step is to draw freely for the composition. Get a feeling involved in that first step. The second step, we defined the top of the head and the hairline and the chin. And then start from there and we divide the vertical. So you have to analyze the reference, okay? And spend enough time on it, okay? Don't rush through it. Okay, now let's take a look. The width of the face. Now we have to compare the width of the face to the height. Okay, here you go. From the bottom of the chin and moving up is right above just a little bit higher than the top of the eyebrow. So it's right over here. Want to talk about the center line of the face. She is looking directly frontal. So the left side and the right side of the face is very much the same width from the center line. So let's take a look. And we're going to make sure that this part will be the left side, the right side, and we're going to set the center line right in here. So I'm going to draw really a little bit lightly line. So this is the center line. Okay. And when we are having the width of the face, making sure the left side and the right side approximately the same. Okay, this is good. We're going to take this and rotate it. So this will be the width of the face. Let's take a look. So if the right side over here, which is right below the eye, this is the widest of the face. Okay, now I'm going to put this right over here. And the left side, it will be right here. I'm going to double check. That is right. This is equals to this part. You have to look at your reference, okay, whether or not it is the exact same proportion. Most of the people, they're not the same. Even between brothers and sisters, or brothers to brothers, they're not exactly the same. Okay, this is good. So the left side, it would most likely look like this on the left side and coming down like this. Okay, look at it and coming a little bit closer to the chin. Okay, and on this side, it will coming up like this. And we're gonna come back to redefine and the details of the outline of the face. Okay, but right now just roughly, just give a little shape to it. Okay, this is good. So this is the width compared to the height in the correct proportion. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, based on we already know the width of the face is proportional to the height of the face. Every step have to be based on the step that you already completed and then moving forward to the next step. Okay, we are going to take a look at the width of her face. Usually, we call 5 eyes. 5 eyes, that means from the left over here to the right, it actually 5 equal space. And each one is equals to 1 eye space. Like this. But for this, it's not the same. And let's take a look at here. The corner of the eye right here. And this corner of the eye right here. And this corner of the eye right here. The corner of the eye right over here. So you can see on both sides have a little bit smaller than the 1 eye space. Okay. And in between the 2 eyes, it's almost have like 1.5 of an eye. Almost 1.5. A little bit slightly less than 1.5. So this is good. That means we need to adjust it. That means we're going to move this a little bit outer. Okay, here we go. Like this. This is the space between the 2 eyes. Now we're going to look at it. And this, you need to move a little bit more to the left-hand side. Okay, like this. And also over here, I can move a little bit more to the outside. And in the middle over here, I can move a little bit more toward the right side. So leave the center have a little bit more than 1 eye. Okay, let's take a look. Is that enough? I want you to spend a few minutes, even 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes even, to make sure those space is exactly matching to the proportions on your reference. Okay, spend a little bit more time. Let's take a look. So I'm going to let go some of the mark over here. And I'm going to take a look. Is this enough? I think this is pretty close. I think the corner can moving a little bit more to the right hand side. Okay. And the corner actually seeing the cast shadow and look like the eye is moving outer a little bit. But the corner, the inside corner is right over here. So this is good. On this eye, let's take a look. I'm going to draw the shape of the eye coming over here. This is good. Usually the corner of the eye over here a little bit higher than the corner of this eye. So it look like this, coming in over here and coming in over here like that. Okay, spend a little bit more time. Look at it if this is what it should be. This is very, very important. Why? Because the nose and the mouth is going to base on the measurements of the eye space. And look at it again. I'm gonna draw a little bit more and look at the shadow over here. And I'm gonna double check and the shadow shape right here. And on this side, this with almost the light shape, almost the same as the shadow shape right here from right outside of the corner here. So that means almost like the center over here, like that. So this is a little bit just the same as the light shape. I want to take a look. I'm going to come in over here to give a little bit more definitions to the eye. This iris sitting right in here. I would like you to spend as much time as you can on each of the steps. Don't skip the steps. Okay, the whole eye over here can shade a little iris a little bit darker. Now take a look on this side. The whole eye actually in the shadow, but let's only define where's the iris. Okay, right over here, like that. Here you go. Take a look at both sides. The two iris should be the same size. And just softly blend a little bit shape in here, just for now, to define the location of the iris. Okay, this is good. All right, this is very, very crucial and important to define the space of the eyes, because this is very, very important. We have to spend enough time on it. Now let's take a look. This is the nostril. This is good. And we're going to define the width of the nose. Let's take a look. Since we already know the eye, we're going to take a look at the left corner, left side over here. This corner of the eye is directly lined up vertically to the outside of the nose on this side. And as well as on this side is right lined up together. So this is very simple. This is why it's so important. The previous step is define the following step. Okay, now we're going to draw the little line down over here. So this would be the corner of this side of the nose. And take a look on this side. Okay, this is good. Make sure it's vertical. Okay, like this. All right, this is very good. And I'm gonna have this side, this there, a little bit coming down over here like this. So this slanted this little angle. Take a look on this side. This is good. And wrap around the nostril like that. Okay, just draw softly. And take a look at this is the nostril. So wrap a little bit over here. This is not the bottom of the nose, just the nostril. And coming a little bit in the middle. And the center line is very, very helpful. Okay, now take a look at, this is good. Like that. So we just define the size of the nose. And this is good. And on this side, we're going to define that a little triangle shape. Like this. And this is pointing up to see the corner of this nostril. So we can actually erase that a little bit shape over here. It's very easy to erase with the nitty eraser for the charcoal. All right, this is good. Now take a look at the corner of the mouth. Let's compare. We're gonna see this would be considered the corner of the mouth. We're gonna have this coming up. Let's take a look. It's right aligned up right over here. Just a little bit in here. This is the corner of the mouth. That's good. And take a look on the other side. And take a look at this corner. Almost the same. So from here, that coming down, that's the corner of this mouth. All right, since we already know the top of this mouth is sitting right here. Now I'm going to draw a little big triangle like this. And we can come down over here, and then so it's the outside, a little corner, little triangle for the mouth. Let's take a look at this side, right? It's good. And coming down over here, looks like also a little bit triangle. You can see this triangle. This is the upside down triangle, like this. And since we already know the bottom of their mouth is over here, so we can see there is a shadow shape, like this. From this shape over here, it's right over here. You can turn a little bit and then take a look at the shadow. Coming down a little bit and start curving. A little curve. And then coming over here. And this, it makes you feel like this is the sphere shape. And we'll also have the highlight right in here. Okay, this is good. A little curve like that. So separate the light side and the shadow side. Okay, this is good. Now take a look at the shadow, to catch the shadow under the nose. And the catch the shadow, continue. Okay, like this. Okay. And I think this is good. And then coming over. This is good. And look like the upper lip over here can be a little bit higher. Okay, a little bit higher. Right over here. Continue. Coming to the corner over here. And take a look at the shadow. Catch the shadow. And also can be moving here. Then look at turn this angle. And then on the lower lip of the mouth. And turning over here. This is good. Like that. And here we go. This is good. And we already have little suggestions over here. So I'm going to put that in here. Now we separate the left side and the right side and the shadow side. Also over here between the two eyebrows. Here you go. Coming up here. And take a look. This is good. This is the shadow side. And even though the middle over here is the half tone. Like this. Here you go. At this step, you have to force yourself to see the light and the shadow, because a lot of shape, they are very soft. Okay, let's take a look at the lower eyelid. It has a little bit shadow over here too. So you can force this is a shadow shape. Okay, coming right here. That's good. Like that. Okay, in the middle over here, that is the beginning of the shadow. Is the termination. Okay. That's the shadow. This is good. Right there. This is good. And in the middle over here, we see a little bit triangle shape. And let me show you. From here, coming down, this shape. And coming up all the way toward this corner. Okay, the corner of the eye, right over here. Toward this corner, and we divide a little bit triangle for the lower eyelid shadow. Okay, right there. Okay, this is good. What's the next step? I'm going to come back to use the vine charcoal. I'm going to start shading into the shadow. At the same time, I'm going to make a little bit in the half tone over here too. So I'm going to shade it into the area of the shadow shape. Okay, in here too. Like that. That's good. A little bit shadow on the sweater. Okay, here you go. Like that. And over here, a little bit shadow over here too. And see a little shadow over here. And I'm going to make both sides and a little bit darker. Even shade it a little bit into the background. I'm going to make the background a little bit darker, so make the light area, the highlight, on the face a little bit lighter. Okay, here you go. This is good. This called also masking. We mask the shadow. Here you go, like that. Now the next step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start blending the texture a little bit too much. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my hand. So softly blend the value. That's good. Here you go. And this is good. Make it a little bit softer. And we're going to come back to readjust the shape of the value. The shape of the shadow. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to come back. Use my charcoal pencil. Now I'm going to make this side even darker. Let's see, this darker. We're looking at the larger shape, not the smaller shape. Okay, I'm going to make this just a little bit darker. And take a look here. And don't draw too dark, too hard. Just softly drawing. And some people are always afraid of charcoal and try not to use the charcoal. Actually, charcoal is very easy to erase and change if you're not drawing too dark. Or don't push the charcoal too hard to the paper. Okay, that's good. Put the value, put some charcoal in. This is good. And no worry, if they're too dark, you can use the eraser to remove the charcoal. Okay, this is good. That's a little bit darker over here. You see the shape over here coming down like that. This is good. And also we need to blend the charcoal to make the middle tone a little bit darker. Here we go. That's good. I'm gonna make this shadow a little bit darker. Here you go. Soften that a little bit. And I'm gonna start at this triangle. That's good. Like that. So I'm gonna soften that a little bit and also move that soft charcoal outside. I'm gonna take a look at this area, also a little bit darker. As well as the nose can be a little bit darker. And we're gonna use the eraser to create the lighter area. Okay, here you go. Coming out here, this is good. And I'm gonna blend the value to the halftone area. And also this needs to be also a little bit softer. Okay, let's take a look at the shape over here, this shadow shape. I'm gonna make this a little bit darker. See that? This is good. Alright, this is pretty good. Only seeing the larger shape at this point. And seeing this a little bit darker. And inside over here. And you can see all this shadow shape to be flat shape, which is similar, very similar value. So this triangle is not really white. It's a little bit softer. Like that. This is good. All right. All right, now we see the light and shadow. This is good. Now I'm going to take a look at in here, also a little bit darker shape. Like that. And this, the bottom of this shape, also a little bit darker. I'm going to blend it a little bit. This is good. Now I see this can be a little bit darker, this shape. Just compare the value of those larger area of the shadow. So this also need to be darker. This also need to be darker. Okay, let's take a look. And we can have this a little bit softer. This is the edge, a very soft edge. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can continue adjusting the shape. And that's this drawing will be finished. If you're a member on Patreon, you can watch the full video in the membership area. To find out other benefits as a member, go to patreon.com/YongChen. If you're not yet a member, you can go to yongchen.gumroad.com to purchase and watch the full video. And for a limited time, you can download these 2 books on Gumroad. Thank you for your support. I'm looking forward to see you in our next video.